They won't let us film Barthelme. What? Why not? They think we're boofs. Your word or theirs? Yours. Boofs. Oh, that's just a jab in the eye. Could they not dip our credentials in applesauce to make them go down the gullet smoother? Didn't like our bona fides. Fine. Is there no room for generosity these days? Has compassion been ensnared in the tentacles of the red tape agenda as well? That's a sorry loss. Not only for us, but all the piss ants out there, like your piss ants and my piss ants and their piss ants. You tried to bribe them, I presume. You didn't. Well, it's probably too late now. Well, what about blackmail? People are easy to blackmail these days. They're practically blackmailing themselves. It'd be pure bangarang with the youth. You know how those young people, they love their weird little stories. I mean, a lot of those gummy bits of his up on the silver screen. Like that one about the group of friends, you know, that decide to hang their other friend. We could do that one. That's a solid piece.
We can't.
Right. They want to keep their literary titans in chains underground like that hard-ass Zeus. Where do they get off?
I don't know.
And they won. Because I don't know where they get off.
We could go to one of those mermaid conventions, befriend some of the merfolk, maybe see if they'll let us join their society.
Merfolk. Boy, you burned the milk this time. Even if they did accept you into their society, they'd take one look at your nipples and shriek with embarrassment.
That's true. My nipples are a bit much for the uncultured eye.
Look, I'm speaking as a friend here. What did you offer them as a fee for the one-time use of the material?
What first? $25 dollarinos. And when I felt them slipping away from my prickly pair of little fingers, I offered them eggs. Every day. For the rest of their lives. I thought we'd get some chickens. Maybe 20? Chickens lay eggs every 23.5 hours. Now think about it. That's 20 eggs a day. Every day. For the rest of their lives.
And they said no.
No. They said nothing.
Well, that's even worse. It's the no of the void. God, I'm so angry. I'm so angry. I could just bite through. Well, we tried.
Oh, we gave it a hoorah, even though we didn't get a hooray. Big dip. They start hooraying ya. You're in trouble. You got a target on your back, and they're watching you like a targeted hawk.
That's what the history teachers won't tell you. And if they do, they obfuscate to make it seem cool.
Nothing cool about near the grave, James Dean.
Honestly, I wouldn't have known what to do with myself. I'd have been flummoxed as all hell. But hasn't anyone who's trotted in the same size loafers as us also shook in their boots? We're not being allowed to tremble with fear. Only tremble with terror. Tremble with bitterness. With quixoticism. Trembling with quixoticism? Now there's a limpid afternoon. I mean, we made it this far. We talked about it and talked about it thoroughly. We sent an electronic mail. Remember the other night? I mean, we were neck deep in it. We were toiling in the fields where lesser men have been enveloped by the quagmire of contemplation.
And where did it get us?
Here without so much as a feather in our hat.
What's two chaps like us to do?
We gotta get magma, man. Oh, if I had just a little bit of magma, all the things I could do.
What's two chaps like us to do?
We're at the end of our rope.
We're at the end of our rope, and we only discovered that the rope was a yard long.
What are we supposed to do with a rope that's a yard long? Our bona fides are useless!
We don't have any bona fides. That's the whole problem to begin with.
How are we supposed to get any bona fides with a yard of rope?
We could sell our kids.
No. The Albanian gray market isn't what it used to be back in the 90s, my friend. All those loopholes, swimming holes have dried up.
How is your pissant?
Oh, she's discovering things again. Parenting, right? I get it. Right? The world is full of these horrible things around each corner, and I have to think up some arbitrary explanation for all of this. She asked me what a gulag was the other day. God, I almost...
Mine just started learning Copernicus. Suddenly she's the goddamn queen of the known world.
Did you read about Goldilocks in the paper?
Gruesome stuff.
You know, I used to farm cats.
Really?
Had a ranch with damn near 16,013 cats.
Really?
Sheared them, rented them to cat litter commercials, had them pull rickshaws, cat bomb. They won't let us film Barthelme.
How would they ever know? We could film it on the sly, you know?
This with the shutter speed.
They have goons, my man. That's how they do things these days, goons, patrolmen of the cinema sphere. They catch a whiff that we made a moving picture with a handful of their words, and they'll unleash the dogs of war on you.
What about the stage? Are they impervious to the stage, these goons? I mean, we could hop out of here and flee into Theatersville. Hide out for a while until the heat cools off. Nobody goes to the theater these days. It's a veritable ghost town there. Yeah? They're all just doing theater for themselves. It's a perverse sight.
They got theater goons, my man. Gucking audience members, dimming house lights, writing for the paper. The goons have infiltrated all.
Goons. All they do is go around making sure people don't make talkies out of books. God, I hate them, but that is a great gig.
I applied for a spot the midsummer before last.
What did they say?
You don't want to know.
No.
That's right. Nothing.
Nothing! Oh, why do we give power to these mute gods? It's enough to make every chrysanthemum in the winter of my soul burst into flames!
Can I ask you something?
Please do.
Whatever happened to freedom? Whatever happened to doing things just to do them?
Integrity?
The freedom of integrity. All we want to do is have a proper roll in the hay with old Barthelme. And then put it out on the magic of the internetscape for all the stupid world to see. Forget it. Now, let's say I want to hear a little Mahler.
Ba-ba-ba-bam, ba-ba-ba-bam.
But I can't. Because some record company chump is gonna make me pay 30 furlongs for it. Whatever happened to the freedom to not make money? Or at least the freedom not to spend it?
Dangerous words to be spoken, my friend.
How about that Goldilocks affair, though?
Now, I'm not sure I understand the whole story. I understand how a bear can make a bowl of porridge, but how did he make it so hot? When I make porridge, it's lukewarm at best. It's because I've got this terrible kindling. That's the first thing to go in a decent society is proper kindling.
Forget about the porridge, you suburban bumpkin. It's hot porridge thoughts like these that have rendered us scriptless. Now, I want to know how those bears got a house.
Well, it's probably some sort of inheritance affair. Some whack job spent their God-given days ripping off the working class only to give all his possessions to a family of bears. That's what passes for rationality these days. Oh, history is gonna have its way with us on this one, my friend. The historians of the future are going to take our chapter of life, bend it over, and have their way with it, and it is not going to be a pretty sight.
I'm still thinking about the Merfolk Society.
Well, what a brat. If she hadn't dilly-dallied with being finicky, she'd have been in and out before those bears even came home. But no, it had to be the right bowl of porridge, the right chair. And when I break into people's houses, I'm certainly not a snob about it. I'm in and out.
Now we need to break into our big break. Let's film one of these Barthelme stories. How about the one with the balloon that's so big?
What about that one with that guy that owns that city?
What about the one where the zombies list different foods?
What about that one with the falling dogs? Perhaps this remix culture has no need for a Donald that's not disseminated. Splintered to smithereens. Had we just adapted the story, we could have bypassed this whole mess. But no. We wanted to give him an honest row.
And now they're on to us. And now we have to look both ways before we take on Infinite Jest the Opera.
We'll just pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. That's what we'll do.
Sure.
Yes, bootstraps. Bootstraps, bootstraps, bootstraps. At least we still have those.